In this video, I want to show you how to use the new Maya retargeting tools. So the first thing we'll need to do is download and install the plugin. So I already have it downloaded here. We just need to extract it to the files to the proper folder. And so we'll just open up this zip file here. And then you'll see that it has a folder and a .py file. And so we just need to extract those to our user documents, and then Maya, and then the plugins folder. And sometimes you don't have the plugin folder or the plugins folder created by default. And so if you don't, go ahead and create it and make sure you have the hyphen in there. And then we'll go ahead and extract this here to the plugins folder. And then since I already did it, I'm just going to hit cancel, but you just hit extract. And now once those files are here in the plugins folder, we just open up Maya and we go to Windows, Settings Preferences, and then the Plugin Manager. And then we want to look for the section for our user documents and then Maya plugins. And then you should see the new replicant tools listed there. And so we'll just check it to load it and then check auto load. That way it's automatically loaded every time we start a Maya. And now once the plugin is loaded, you'll have this new menu item up here called Replikant Tools. And then right now, the only tool we have available for public use is the retargeting tools. So we'll just go to the retargeting tools menu and select show window. And now this is pretty simple to use. Basically, you just point to a folder that has all the FBX files of animations that you want to retarget. They can actually, right now we support perception neuron skeleton, Mix the Mo, and then the Unreal Engine 4 and Unreal Engine 5 skeletons. And so you can have a mix of all those different skeletons in the same folder and it'll retarget them just fine. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hit open here. And that'll be our source folder. And then it automatically sets up a export folder. But if you're not happy with the one it just picks, it basically just picks the source folder and then adds retargeted. You can change it by just going to browse or typing in whatever you want. And then we have a batch limit here. And then what that does is if you have, a lot of animations like 10 or 200 or whatever, you can, it's usually a good idea to just retarget a couple first to make sure it works out well and you're getting the results you want. And so you can set a limit here to like 2 or 3 to test that. Or if you just want to retarget all of them, you just leave it at 0. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to put 1 here so we can kind of see how this works. And then we'll retarget the animations. And then it's going to create a new scene. And so we just get this prompt here just to make sure if we're working on a scene, you can save your latest changes, but I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to hit don't save. And now you'll see that kind of as we sit here, you'll see what's going on is basically retargets the animations. And so you can sit here and watch if you want, or if you have a bunch of animations, this might be a good time to grab something to drink or something like that. Now that we have an animation that's been retargeted, let's hop over into Replikant and I'll show you how to import it in here. And so I just have a default scene loaded up here. And so we just need to go to MISC and then FBX animation import. And then we just need to browse to where those animations were exported to. And so I'm already there. So I'm just going to pick one of these. This one will do just fine. So we'll hit open. And then you'll get this FBX importer option box here. And basically all the animations will be imported into the custom animations section. But if you want, you can specify a subfolder. And so in this case, I'll use the imported subfolder for now. And then if you want to replace any existing animations with the same name, leave on override existing. And then the source type for the Maya replicant tools, you're always going to want to have the source type be replicant because we're using the replicant skeleton. And in the future, we'll support some of these where you won't actually have to do the retargeting in Maya, but right now that's work in progress. And then you always want to have convert scene on, otherwise has potential to not convert the animation into the Unreal Engine coordinate space. And so we always want to have that on. And then the animation length, usually the exported time works fine, but if you modified the animation and you changed your playback range here and then you exported it, it's only going to the exported time would only be the time that was here in your playback range. And so in that case, you might want to change it to the animated time to do that full length, or if you just want to specify your own range, you can use the custom range. I'm just going to leave it on export at time. And then we have a couple tools here for shifting the animation, either translating it or rotating it. If you want, I'm just going to leave those as the default. And then the sample rate, I would just leave it disabled. So we'll just use the normal sample rate. And now we can click import. And then once our animation is imported, we can find it in the animation section. So I'm just going to go to the animation, and now I already have a track here for Kendrick Bailey. So if we go to the custom tab here in our animations, and then we look for the animations folder, apparently this didn't refresh. So we can click this little button here and it'll refresh it. Now we can see our imported folder here. So we just select it, and then we have our animation. So we can drag and drop this in the sequencer, and now we can see that beautiful animation that we brought in from Perception Neuron. And then I just want to point out here in this animation importer, you can actually select more than one file. So we could actually import all the rest of these at once. We'll hit open, and then we'll just import it in the same folder. Go ahead and hit go. And then, like I said, right now we support Perception Neuron, Mixamo, and then the Unreal Engine skeletons. So let me kind of show you how to export those properly. And so we'll go ahead and start with Mixamo. And so it's pretty straightforward. The main thing with Mixamo is you want to make sure that you're using one of their bots as the character. Because if you import in a custom character, it most likely won't export the animation out on the proper skeleton. And so you can just come here to the characters section of Mixamo and then just search for bot. And then I've tested it with both the Y-bot and X-bot, and they both work fine. I'm not sure about the others characters that Mixamo offers, but we'll just use the Y-bot for this. For this demonstration. And then I'm going to go ahead and use this character because I'm not worried about the old one. And then we can go to animations, and then we can just pick one here. This one will be fine. And then we just basically hit download. You can change the stuff if you want, but I'm just going to leave it as default. So we go to download, and then you just want to make sure you export it as FBX. And then the skin's optional. If you want to see the animation of Maya, the skin can be helpful for that. I'll just leave it for now. But obviously without the skin will be smaller file sizes if you're worried about that. And then the frames per second, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at 30. You could change it to 60 if you want, but 30 will be fine. So we'll hit download. And now we just download that, and that's it. We just use that FB exporter that would have been downloaded, and it'll work fine with the animation tools. And so now let me show you how to do it, export from Perception Neuron. So here in Perception Neuron, I just have this sample scene here of them fencing. And so now if we want to export these animations to retarget in Maya, we just click the export button here. And then you can select which characters and which animations will be exported here. And so we'll just go ahead and do both of them for this demonstration. And then here are the file names that they'll be exported as. And then the same thing here, you want to make sure you export as FBX. And then for the skeleton, you want to make sure you use the Maya human IK skeleton. And then the rotation YXZ, basically you want to just match these settings here. Well, except you can pick where you want to save them at or where you want to export them out to. And so that looks good. So I'll just hit export. And then I already exported them, so I'm not going to worry about overwriting the files here. I'm just going to cancel that out. But that's the way you want to export them out of Perception Neuron. And now let me show you how to do it from Unreal Engine. And so I just have the third-person sample template here open, and I just found one of the animations on one of the Unreal Engine 4, in this case, mannequin. And so if we want to export this out to use in Replikant, we just right-click on the. You can select more than one too. If there's more than one, you can shift select all of them and then export. And so in this case, we go to Asset Actions, and then we want to go to Export. And then I want to pick where we want to export it at. So I'll just go here to mocap FBX is here, and then hit save. And now you'll get some similar options to what we've been seeing so far. For the FBX, just pick the latest one, 2020. That's been working well. Advanced, we'll just leave those off. And then we don't need the vertex color level of detail. We don't need the collision. Well, there's no morph targets on this one. But we can leave that just for in the future. We might want to support importing in morph target curves. So we'll leave that one checked. And then if you want to see the mesh inside Maya, then you can check the export preview mesh. But it doesn't matter if you have it or not. And then we'll also export with the local time. And so that looks good. So we'll go ahead and export that. And then that's it. Then we can use the retargeting tools here in Maya